Things are moving fast in this Ange Postecoglou deal. Fog Football welcomes you back to another video, and Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this an hour ago. I'll say an hour ago, it was at 7:42 a.m. But you know what? There's bigger news, but we may address this first. But understand, Tottenham have finally reached verbal agreement with Ange Postecoglou's next manager. Been told it will be a 2-year deal with an option included for further season, so potentially valid until June 2026. Next step to get it done, find a way with Celtic. So you're thinking, maybe it'll take a few hours off or a few days off, but boom, we have been hit with this not long ago. Celtic's Ange Postecoglou has been granted permission to speak to Tottenham with Brendan Rodgers and Jesse Marsch in the frame to replace him. We've got the likes of Loyal trending, we've got Hatate trending, Kyogo trending, even John Kennedy, man, he's trending. So major news here. We discussed it yesterday on the channel. I mean, it looked like it was going to happen, but I guess there was always the chance that Celtic would have rejected it. But now Celtic, they've granted him permission. And the fact he's already reached a verbal agreement between him and Tottenham, I don't see how this deal now collapses. It's just a matter of who's going to replace um, Ange at Celtic. It's mad how quickly this has came along. And you know what? I will say fair play to Ange, because you know what? He could have left, right? Earlier in the season, but you know what? He stuck to his guns and he didn't. Gerrard jobbed Rangers out. He left us in October. Ange, let's be real, Tottenham were linked to him in like March. Around the time Conte went, they were linked to Brighton were linked to him. That was ages ago, I guess, before De Segre. Leeds, Chelsea, but you know what? He stuck to his guns and he waited till he got Celtic a treble. Or not treble, a treble. There's that many trebles, right? But it's a treble, right? Painful, I know, but well, for me. But anyway, yeah, so he actually waited, so I'm going to say fair play to Ange for that. But again, it was kind of inevitable. Celtic fans saying, well, that's what he said all year. But I think it was blatantly obvious in the last couple of, like the last week at the game, the press conferences. Like, if he was going to stay, he would say, I'm staying. He wouldn't turn around and say, well, you know, mate, the future. I can't even be arsed doing an Ange impersonation. I've got my sinuses are hanging off the walls here. But anyway, if you want to see an Ange impersonation, man, I was doing good the last couple of vids, but as you can see, that was it. He gave Celtic fans a treble. Could it work out for him at Tottenham? It could, but let's be real, it could very easily turn into a fucking disaster. Like, I'm not even joking, and I'm not just saying this because he's a former Celtic, well, he's a current Celtic manager, right? But would you be surprised if Ange is sacked by Christmas? I wouldn't. I really would not, right? Tottenham finished 8th, right? And then you look at the fact that when he started at Celtic, it was not good initially, right? It really was not good. He managed to turn it around, right? But I will say this, I think you've got more time to turn it around at Tottenham than Celtic in that regard. If he kept the form he was showing at Celtic up for like another few months, he'd have been sacked. But with Tottenham, it's not going to be acceptable for him to like lose every away game. And I feel like obviously the Premier League's tougher, but he'll be able to bring in his own players. Will he raid Celtic? But I just feel like there's a real chance that this will either sink or swim. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground. I feel like Ange will either get Tottenham back into the top four, or else he will fucking get them. He'll get sacked. He will play his attacking football. Like, you could literally see games against Man City where Man City beat Tottenham like 8-2. Like, oh, it's like a great attacking game, but Tottenham didn't know to fucking defend. I can see that happening. Also with this though, there was talk about John Kennedy. It looks like he wants John Kennedy there, and the rest of the backroom staff. We got Strachan as well going. So yeah, absolutely insane turn of event, guys. But we'll be back with more content soon on Fog Football. There's a lot more twists and turns, and also who's going to replace him? Who's going to step in at Celtic and fill the mantle? Will it be Brendan Rodgers? A lot of Celtic fans do not want Brendan Rodgers, but a lot of fans do want Brendan Rodgers back. Personally, from a Rangers perspective, I'm not that bothered who Celtic get. Obviously, I would probably rather someone a bit worse than Brendan Rodgers, but the worst case scenario for me was Ange staying, because I rate Ange. Even though I think recent weeks, and we go, oh, we were at the beach. I feel like if Ange stayed, it would have been a lot tougher for Bale. I feel like with a new manager coming in, it's going to absolutely cause a wee bit of chaos at Celtic. Nothing major. Obviously, they're going to lose all the backroom staff, but then Rodgers can bring his in. But I think the problem with Celtic is now, will they be able to attract the players and bring the same sort of players that we were bringing in, like the J League players? And also, what about the J League players that are currently there? Well, Hatate, Kyogo, will they want to leave? Same with Yota, same with Carter Vickers, same with Johnston. players like that. I feel like the homegrown, like the Scottish players like Taylor, McGregor, will stay, especially McGregor, but only time will tell, guys. But looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Love the transfer season, and this is put it in the full gear.